So it's lovely to see you here. Some new faces, some people I haven't seen in a little while. Great to see you back. Hopefully you can hear me well. Just let me know if you can't in the chat box. And today we're talking about, or exploring rather, how to feel alive and inspired. And I think that for those of you that have been feeling blah, have been feeling lack of drive, lack of motivation, this is an important conversation today, in which I'd like you to set your intention to be able to just walk away with what you need, just to be able to get what you need here and take it with you. So just going to spotlight my video. I love to start with a guided visualization, because I think that there's so much information that is out there, and you're probably somebody who already has a head full of information. And these coaching clinics are not about giving you more information. They're really about moving you to the space beyond the overactive mind. And from that space, you have clarity, you have feelings of well-being, you have joy, you have peace of mind, you have direction. So I invite you to join with me now to experience a short guided vision that will help you connect to the direction where your aliveness and your joy is. So if you'd like to close your eyes, just make sure your feet are perfectly planted on the floor. And let yourself just set an intention now as you go into this. What is it you want to know, to be clear about, to have certainty on? I want you to see roots coming from your feet, down through the floor, down through the ground, into the underground, and right down to a rock at the bottom of the earth. And wrap those roots around that rock. There's so much light emanating from this rock that keeps you grounded in this world. So see light coming from that rock now, coming up through the roots, through the underground, through the ground, through the floorboards, up through your feet. And let this light emanate all the way up through your body now. Through your ankles, your thighs, all the way up. Letting this light take care of you and support you and ground you. So see the light moving up through the body, through the legs, through the torso, up to the shoulders, up to the head, out through the hair, down, swooping through the shoulders, down through the arms, the hands, the fingertips. You're completely supported by this golden light of your true nature. This light is filled with aliveness. There's nothing dull about this light. There's nothing blah about this light. This light fuels you and feeds you now. And in your mind's eye, I want you to imagine a beautiful golden path ahead of you that you're going to step onto. And as you step onto that golden path, you're walking along it with direction and certainty. Notice what's on the left or the right of you as you walk. Can be anything, can be nothing. And up at the end of the path, there's a beautiful house. Just imagine the house now. And in front of the house is a little white gate. I want you to open it. Walk through the little white gate and arrive at the front door. As you enter the front door, just walk into the house. Notice your surroundings. Let yourself be in this house of well-being, this house of consciousness. You see a fireplace now to the left, and the fire is lit, blazing. There are 2 chairs, one on either side of the fireplace. Go and take a seat in one of the chairs. And as you sit there, feel your body just really falling into, sinking into the comfort of that seat with that blazing fire. Now, someone you deeply trust or believe in is coming to join you on the other chair. Try not to force it and try not to judge it. This person or this deity or this figure holds wisdom for you. So allow them and invite them to sit with you now on the other chair. To receive the wisdom that's available for you, I want you to just notice your own energy centers, your chakras. Just notice a couple of inches above your head, the crown chakra, and if you want to brighten it, just envision a deeper indigo color emerging. A couple of inches down from there, between the eyebrows, is your 3rd eye chakra. So just imagine it brighter again. You might envisage here a purple color. We're just clearing the chakras in advance of getting any clarity that's on offer. A couple of inches down from the 3rd eye chakra, we reach the throat chakra. Envisage a beautiful blue color, deepening and enlarging. And a couple of inches down from that chakra, we have our heart chakra. I want you to envisage a beautiful green, an emerald green. Just feel that emerald green just getting bolder, just the heart chakra opening. A couple of inches down from the heart chakra, just around the stomach region, is our solar plexus. So just imagine a bright yellow. Invite it to brighten up even more. And then a couple of inches down below the belly button, we have our sacral chakra. So just see this really deep orange color, brightening. And finally, just around the pubic bone, we have our root chakra, ruby red color. See it now brightening. Breathe in and out. Seeing the chakras alive and bright. Don't worry about the shape or the size. Just your intention to clear it all up is enough. So you now have this amazing channel that's ready and clear. So from this place, you're invited to ask a question to the person sitting on the chair in front of you. Do that now and receive your answer in words or images or feelings. And don't worry if nothing comes through yet. Take a few moments. Now thank this person or this figure, knowing that you always have access to this wisdom. And for some of you, it will come in your dream state rather than your waking state because there's less resistance there. So pay attention tonight if you haven't received yet. And just embrace this person and let them be on their way. You too can stand up from the chair. And just take one last look around this house. Is there anything you notice that stands out to you? What might that mean to you? Head towards the door and down through the little white fence and back onto the golden path. Walking along the path all the way and down a couple of steps back into this experience. Seeing roots coming from your feet down through the ground, the underground, right down to that rock at the bottom of the earth, and wrap those roots tightly around that rock. Letting yourself be here now. When you're ready, you can open your eyes and just come back to the room. So sometimes we just really want to let go of the ideas we're coming up with, to instead access what's underneath. And it's not always easy. It's probably one of the things we avoid most, like, let's just get on with our day. Let's just get on with our life. But hopefully in cultivating a practice of being here and getting those visualizations, you're also beginning to stretch the muscle of your own spiritual connection. So I hope you got something from that one. As I was reflecting today about this subject of alive and inspired, it's really come from a place of having been living for a number of months in kind of blah, not knowing what to do, what do I do next, all of that. And what's occurred for me on the path is, as I have let the path unfold and without judgment, it seems to me there are energies of inspiration and aliveness. Now, I know what inspires me, and that helps. But even if I didn't know what inspires me, it wouldn't matter, because these feelings of inspiration and aliveness are really just pointers back to our true nature and who we are. So, like in the case of today, this morning, I just noticed myself spending a lot of time reorganizing my wardrobe. And in my new house, I've been feeling a little more inspired because I have two mini walk-in wardrobes. It's one of the reasons I knew this house was for me, or this apartment was for me. And I could have judged that as time wasting. I should be doing something else. I got to get on with something else. I pay somebody to do this. Why am I doing it? And yet what I noticed was I was just present, folding clothes, moving clothes from one wardrobe to the next, looking at what colors were going where and what was going to match with what. There was a level of presence without judgment. And that presence is really where aliveness comes from. Now, I know, talking to you ladies as well, that can seem frivolous. The things that we love to do can seem frivolous to our judgmental mind and our neighbors and our parents or our spouse. But I want to invite you to consider that the things you're judging as frivolous and a waste of time are the very things that will drop you out of your noisy mind into a state of presence where aliveness and joy is always available. So it's not that aliveness and joy is missing. It's, are you letting yourself off the hook when it comes to engaging the things that light you up? Getting into bed and having the siesta after your lunch because you feel tired? Or are you living life with a gun to your head in a state of perpetual worry and stress and thinking that what you're hearing in your mind is true and something to pay attention to. It's not. So I'd love to hear your question or your feedback or your yes, but, or whatever, rather than to keep kind of talking at you, because I don't know, is this resonating? Is it not? Does somebody want to ask me something? Let's make it a little more interactive if we could.
Hi, Grace.
If you Hi, who's that?
Winda.
Can you hear? Is it Linda?
Parwinder.
Oh, Parwinder. Why can I not hear you very well?
Oh.
Can you hear me?
Okay, come back to me. I'll just check because I've just switched over devices. Come back to me.
I've got you now, Parwinder. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I just wanted to add, there must be some alignment here because I'm doing exactly the same right now before I've got some meetings later on. But yeah, just taking the time out to something I've been procrastinating about, but just sorting through everything meticulously. And yeah, your reminder was just great timing, perfect.
Good for you to show up following that inner call, to be on a call where we're exploring this.
Yeah.
So no coincidence, Parwinder. Yeah, thank you for sharing.
Yeah, and it feels I think you're right. There's something in that of you know, I was contemplating something recently of how we're rushing to get to places, but actually sometimes the most productive thing to do is actually just stop.
Yeah.
And the fastest route is to just stop and do what you're called to in that moment, or those days or weeks or months even.
Yeah.
So yeah, and you know, we make the mistake in our mind to think busyness isn't necessarily getting us there quicker.
Yeah, yeah. There's something really helpful about knowing the season you're in. So, you know, I invite you all to consider, what is the season you're in? Is it a season of stop? Is it a season of accelerate? Is it a season of sorting out and organizing? And a season could last a few days, a few weeks, a few months. There's really no time limit on that. But if we're unrealistic with ourselves and constantly think that we should be in a different season than the one we're in, we leave no room for life to do its job. So, like, I've been having a really good time for the last 6 weeks or so. And it was really coming back to life after months of feeling completely blah and completely, you know, kind of just lost inside. And at some point, I noticed that little Grace decided that she better put the brakes on all this enjoyment. Like, okay, that's enough. Okay, now you have to get back to real life now, Grace. Okay, put the brakes on this. You know, you can't live in this state of joy the whole time. Enjoyment. This isn't normal, Grace. But I caught it. Like, I caught myself putting the brakes on the level of enjoyment I was allowed to have. And I think that we humans don't realize it, but we do that to ourselves. We decide, right, that's enough, back to seriousness, back to blah, back to worrying, back to whatever. Because somewhere along the way, somebody told us, you can't really live like that because you won't get stuff done. and yet, that's a belief That's not a truth. You can't get stuff done if you're enjoying yourself. That's not a truth. That's a belief.
Yeah, love that. Yeah, we're definitely living some parallel things here at the moment. But it's been interesting because also I went into meditation for 2 weeks. So I cut off from everything and technology and just complete silence. And I just felt it was the most productive thing I could have done with those 2 weeks. And it was incredible.
Yeah, good. It sounds like you're listening to your wisdom.
Yeah.
And just for those of you that are thinking, oh gosh, maybe I should be meditating for 2 weeks. I went into partying for 6 weeks. You know, and it's like there's no the path to joy, enjoyment, aliveness is completely dependent on what lights you up, what calls you.
Yeah, just an acceptance of what's in front of you, I think is.
Yeah, no judgment. Love that, Pawinder. Thank you for sharing, honey.
Love. Can't wait to see you, Grace. Always sending you love, and really glad you're in a new apartment and things are moving along.
Yeah,
I'm so looking forward to seeing you when the time happens.
Yeah, you too. Who else has a comment or a question or something that might open up something else as we talk? Did you have something, Marie-Pierre?
Yes.
Go
Always.
ahead.
It's more during the visualization. So I asked this person, I was like, and asking the universe, I'm like, okay, I really want clients. And it's not just, well, there's a money piece, but there's also a strong desire to be helpful, useful, to do something productive and to really work. I mean, I really want to work and help people and be in the flow of work. And during the visualization, I realized that I'm actually scared of having clients.
Oh.
So it's very paradoxical, do you say? Because I really want to help people, but at the same time, I think there's an underlying fear of, like, my nervous system is constantly on constriction. I feel like in my throat, in my solar plexus, it's like a fear of being attacked for what I do. Does that make sense? I'm not sure if it makes sense.
Okay, yeah. So that's a great clarity to have.
Being judged or attacked, or so there's a strong desire to be at service, and at the same time, it's really a fear of of being attacked. I don't know where it's from.
That's not important. Can I invite you to say something new then about this? Are you open to that?
Yes.
So it's a great clarity that you recognize you really want to help people, and you're in a season of what sounds like fuel. You have fuel for that. You know, I hear you saying, I really want to be of service. I really want to help. That's the fuel that got me started in the first place. That's the fuel that's important. And then you notice, oh, but I'm afraid of being judged or attacked. Well, I'd like to invite you to see that any feeling of fear is just letting you know you're scaring yourself. It's not giving you information about other people attacking you. It's not giving you information about you're not going to succeed because you've got this fear thing going on. A feeling of fear is letting us know stop scaring myself. Let me give you an example. I woke up at 4 o'clock the other morning, and I could have sworn that I heard somebody in my apartment. I checked the apartment. It's small. There is no way there was somebody in my apartment. But my heart started beating really fast. And then my mind started jumping to, oh my God, but I don't really know. What if there is somebody? I better get the keys to my next door neighbor's place just in case. And all sorts of 4 o'clock in the morning scary thoughts. And in my running around like a little bit frantic, what if there's someone outside the door? What if I did hear something? My heart got loud, got stronger. The heartbeat started getting faster. And then I remembered, oh, this is how perfectly made we are. My heartbeat and my anxiety is getting louder and louder, not because there is someone outside my door or in my apartment that I need to be worried about, but because I'm scaring the life out of myself with thinking that's not helpful. Now, the old me would have considered, well, there must be someone because I'm anxious and my heart's beating really fast. It means there's something wrong. No, 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 no. Feelings of fear, including anxiety, heart palpitations, tension, stress, upset, are all alarm bells that the way we are thinking about something isn't true. Does that speak to you at all, Marie-Pierre?
Yes. It's like a misuse of our mind. It's like we don't need to figure out where it's from. We just need to redirect it.
Yeah.
To this moment, because it's true. Like I was like, well, I'm safe. Like even if yeah. I got it.
You got it. You got it. So
that kind of.
You're just
yes.
doing the scene where the clients are concerned. You know, you're just doing that. We do this to ourselves. We misuse our mind. You know, it's very innocent, but we want to catch it. Like, and we want to be patient with ourselves because we don't always catch it on time. I mean, I did run around the apartment making sure there was nobody here for a bit. And then I did grab my neighbor's keys and I did go outside the front door to make sure there was nobody. And then it was like, oh, Grace, these feelings aren't telling you anything about needing to be worried. These feelings are just telling you what you're scaring yourself. And as we scare ourselves, ladies, this is how we fall out of feelings of enjoyment and presence and aliveness. And we end up in feelings of blah, no drive, no motivation, no inspiration. So we don't want to try and go out there and fix the external in order to feel more inspired. We want to go inside and see, wow, there's a different way I could be supporting myself with my mind. I love to drink wine and have aperitivo and sit with friends, and I could pass hours doing that just in pure enjoyment. And the old me would judge that a lot. Oh my God, you shouldn't be doing that. You're going to put on weight. You're going to do that. You're going to do it. This is unhealthy. This is that. This is whatever. And I can't think of a quicker way to drop out of my noisy, judgmental mind than sitting down with friends, being in conversation over food or wine, or both. It seems to elicit a feeling of presence. Now, I can use my mind to judge that. Well, that's not healthy, that's not good for you, blah, 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 blah. But the more I've come to see, just like cleaning up my wardrobe upstairs, the more I've come to see that anything we do that gets us into the present moment, that elicits feelings of aliveness, is good for you. Only you judge it. Only we judge it. And usually the judgment isn't even you. It's usually somebody, some authority figure. I don't know, a parent, the doctor, a health magazine, who knows? So we really want to just let ourselves off the hook and to come back into presence. And however we get that presence is okay. You know, Prawinder said she did 2 weeks of meditation. Fantastic. Somebody else might find it when they go to the gym. Somebody else might find it when they're, you know, in their work. It doesn't matter when they're cooking. It doesn't matter. As we honor those moments of presence, we are alive. We come alive. Questions, comments? Anything, anybody else? I'm glad that was helpful, Marie-Pierre. Joe,
Thank you.
love to see you. You want to come on,
Hi.
Joe?
Hi, yeah, I just kind of got a yeah, but I know that it's not actually a yeah, but
Go ahead.
just struggling with my daughter at the moment. Like, it
Yeah.
feels like the more I follow my own joy, the more the gap between me and her gets bigger, the more she kind of gets left behind. Like, she's not very well mentally, and she's very much in her own little world, and she doesn't want to come and join me in my world. She wants me to go and join her in her world. And I've done that for the last few years, and it just made me ill, and I can't do it anymore. So I'm kind of doing my own thing more and more, but it's just hard because it just feels like I'm abandoning her. And I know, like, obviously that's, the feelings are not telling me that, but that's what it looks like to me. And so I guess I just want you to tell me that that's not the case.
Yeah, and let me ask you, Joe, what do you mean about the gaps getting wider and wider? How does that look to you? If you're doing your thing and she's doing hers?
We just spend less and less time together. There's less and less genuine connection. There's less and less to say to each other. We live in the same house. Like, she's 19, so she's at college. We live in the same house, but there's very little connection, like genuine connection. And maybe that's normal for a 19-year-old, but it just feels like, I don't know, I guess it just feels like I'm abandoning her, like I'm just kind of going off and doing my own thing and leaving her behind.
Mm-hmm. So are you craving a deeper connection with her? Is that what you're saying?
No, not really. Not really, to be honest. I'm craving space from her, but I feel bad doing that.
So you're feeling guilty?
Yeah, I guess so, yeah.
Yeah. So thanks for the honesty, and I love that you're so clear. It's not that you're actually wanting to generate a deeper connection at this moment. This is just the season you're in. Okay, you want to remember that too, Joe. This isn't forever. This is just a season between the two of you. And yet we get to use our minds to feel guilty about wanting space. Sounds to me like she wants space too. Otherwise, she'd be cultivating deeper connection in some format.
Well, I think if she had her way, all she's ever wanted is just me and her in a room, shut the door to the rest of the world, and that's all she's ever wanted, really. But obviously, that's not really achievable. I think she would love deeper connection, but I don't think she knows how to go about that. So if she wants attention, she'll overdose or self-harm or something like that in order to get my attention. But I just can't give her attention for that anymore because it just destroys me in the process. So I'm hoping that the more I do what's right for me, it will, I don't know, draw her out of where she is and kind of, I don't know. It's not an easy thing to talk about in 5 minutes, I guess.
And there's a part of me that would love to invite you to just see something fresh about her having her experience without you needing to drag her out of it or fix it for her. Does that make any sense at all?
Yeah, it does. It feels like she's constantly looking to me to fix her experience. Like it feels like it's on my shoulders, like her happiness is on my shoulders and her well-being is on my shoulders. And I know it's not, but it feels like she thinks it is, which is like a big weight on my shoulders.
Right, which is why, of course, wisdom would say, get me out of here, I need space.
Yeah.
You know? And there's just, there's something fresh for you to see how you're so not responsible for her experience, and you can't ever be. Now, I don't know when you'll see that or how you'll see that, but I love that you're here today, Joe, taking a moment for yourself to fill up your own cup. And I know that you're pursuing the path of, looking in the direction of where experience really comes from. So I feel confident that you will see on a deeper level something fresh around this. And in the meantime, what if you were to let the guilty feeling simply be the alarm bell that you're not seeing properly?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Letting the guilty feeling inform you that you're making stuff up that you're not responsible for.
Yeah, thank you.
You're so welcome. I'm sorry, that just feels like the best I can point to in this moment. There's something about for all of us here, there is something about seeing that we are not responsible for the other person's experience. Even if it's a family member we absolutely love and adore and have brought into the world. And we have free will where the guilt and the shame is concerned. And I want to say it this way, feeling guilty is optional. And as you fall out of those feelings of guilt, you fall back into presence and clarity on what needs to be done or said. But for all of us, whatever needs to be done or said, we still will never be able to be responsible for someone else's experience of life. So did I see another hand up? Sue. Oh, Sue, come on, darling.
I'm there.
Hello.
Hello.
Great to hear from you.
Oh, it's so great to connect with you too. Your last comment is kind of is, I think, my way into this conversation. My mum is in hospital and is dying. And I was able to see her for the first time in a couple of months yesterday. And she's fighting it tooth and nail, fighting the dying process. I can just see it and sense it in her. But I found myself saying to her yesterday, just go when you're ready. We've got it here. We've got it sorted. We've got it in hand. And I think for me, for the first time in the relationship with my mum, I got no control over my mum's experience. And I came away from there feeling so much lighter, because my reports about how ill my mum was have come through third hand. So it's been, the view has been filtered through other people. So it was difficult for me to take a judgment call about where my mum actually was in terms of this sort of end of life process. And I did feel lighter. And I kind of got caught up in work this morning. I felt more energetic. I felt alive. But I noticed this afternoon that I've kind of shot down, my energy levels really low, and I've gone to that blah position again. And so there's a sense of feeling lost and just kind of not quite knowing where to go, what to do, feeling that I need to do something, and yet actually we're in this kind of limbo that there's absolutely nothing to be done. So I wanted to connect with people who know that it's okay, that there's nothing to do. Because work feels like that sort of jibber jabber, this needs doing, that needs doing, you must do this, and it just kind of needed to get out of that space.
Yeah. Oh, thank you for sharing, Sue, especially something so personal to you. And it sounds like you followed that wisdom to be with this space where, we're never going to tell you, yes, so you got to get on with it. No way. I mean, this is the funny thing, like in these weeks that I've been coming alive, as I describe it again, I could hear my mind saying, oh, hold on, there's a Vespa. I could hear my mind saying, well, you should be doing this, Grace, and you should be doing that, and don't forget about this, and don't forget about that. And what really helped me, was to just notice the flavor of the feeling that came with that.
Right.
It was like a feeling of a gun to my head. And then it really helped me to remember life will move me to get done what needs done. I mean, I've been procrastinating on choosing a computer, as boring as that sounds, for the last, I don't know how long, 3 months or something. I've just been so uninterested and procrastinating on it. And then I'm beating myself up about it, but you need to get a new computer, Grace, but you must get a new computer, but you need to blah, 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 blah. And then yesterday, my friend came to me and he said, Oh, Grace, I find the right computer for you, and I'm going to be in the UK and I can pick it up. Do you want me to get it for you? It was like, oh my God, how easy was that? But I spent weeks ruminating over which computer, how do I get it? I don't want an Italian keyboard. I don't have, it was just blah, blah, blah. And the feeling with that was heavy and whatever. So the reason I'm sharing that is just to say, life will move us. We don't have to worry about being stuck in one season the whole time.
Mm.
You know, and just like life has moved you here today, Sue, life had moved you at the right moment to go visit your mom. And what a gift to be able to give her, to say, we've got this covered, Mom, so when you're ready. What a gift, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, thank you for sharing that. It's really
Thank
kind.
you. That's yeah. That's really helpful. I like the idea that the sort of how to a kind of guidance pointing as to where's that feeling of the jibber jabber coming from, and don't worry about it. If you do it today, it's fine. If you do it tomorrow, it's fine. If you do it next week, it's still fine.
Yeah.
Thank you.
This is what we call letting ourselves off the hook. You know, we don't realize how much we're scaring ourselves.
Mm.
You know, and to me, I now just see procrastination as just got a gun to my head. Once I stop scaring myself, then I'll act on it. You know, instead of, you silly bitch, Grace, you need to get on with it. You know, there's a level of compassion that begins to emerge.
Yeah.
Thanks, Sue.
Bless you.
That's great. Does anybody else have a question? I think we have Rivka.
Hi.
Hi.
Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. It's nice to be here. And everybody shared such deep personal family related things, and I can totally relate. My question isn't family related. It's more about, like, I was feeling blah, I guess, for a while, but then a few months ago, I really started getting into the time of being driven. So I've been driven now for a while, and I was inspired to make like a big decision for our business and kind of like invest to make this vision go ahead. But then I scare myself along the way, like to stay in that place where I initially was inspired and just made the decision to go ahead. And then if it doesn't, I guess, like manifest quickly, that's when my mind starts to get like, well, maybe I made the wrong choice. Maybe I spent too much money on this, you know, kind of like maybe punishing myself or just thinking I did something wrong, you know. But yeah, so I guess I'm trying to understand, like, when is it your body telling you, like, you know what, that wasn't the right choice, it's time to, you know, to go back to how it was or not do that initiative? Or like, how do you know when it's fear or when it's a real message, I guess?
Oh, yeah, that's a wonderful question. Yeah. And I think that's the one that a lot of people are often trying to distinguish. And it's quite personal, Rivka, you know, so only you can know for you. But I'm happy to share what I see, in the sense that the feeling that we live in is always telling us whether we're scaring ourselves or whether wisdom is speaking. So when I'm scaring myself, the feelings are anxious and urgent and panicky and worried and constantly going over and over in my mind the decision that I've made. when it's wisdom speaking, it doesn't come with any drama. It's kind of just like, that wasn't a good decision. Full stop. So I wouldn't be so interested in how you're feeling now about your decision. I would go back to the time I made the decision. And I would notice, what were the feelings I was in when I made that decision? Like, let me give you an example. Since Francesco died, I've noticed that my feelings of insecurity can get really high when I'm with a group of people. Sometimes, not always. And then I, if I try to make decisions from that place of insecurity, I'm not necessarily making good decisions. So what was the feeling you were in when you made the choice?
So I was actually listening to someone, like a podcast of somebody I feel inspired by. And I just like, this idea just hit me. And I was like, oh my gosh, I want to do that. And it came together so quickly and with ease. I found the people like that could help me do it. I felt really excited. It was like sort of, I think, tapped into my joy, which is like about being a successful entrepreneur and travel and all that. So I was inspired when I made it, and it happened relatively easily. But now it's like really manifesting people to come to that, clients to come to that particular thing I created. And so it's a little bit slower. So that's why I'm starting to get a little bit fearful.
So it sounds like you speed it up. That's all.
What'd you say?
It sounds like you've speeded up inside. That's all.
Yeah. Is that a bad thing?
No, but it's not a bad thing. But urgency and impatience are your friends letting you know you're going too fast inside. It's not giving you information about the program. It's not giving you information about your decision. It's not giving you information about the future. Urgency and impatience and any sort of fear alongside that is just letting you know, hey, Rivka, whoa, slow down a little bit. You're going too fast inside.
Okay.
You're just innocently linking it to the decision you made. See this, if you don't take anything else from any of the sharing I do, please everybody take this. The feelings you get are not telling you anything about your future, your decisions, your life. The feelings you get are telling you how you're misusing your mind.
Right.
Somebody should have told us that when we were 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8. Somebody should have been drilling that into us, but they didn't know. This is a new paradigm in psychology. This is still coming into the world. The feelings you're living in are an indicator of how you're using your mind. They are not an indicator of something terrible going wrong in your life, or your business, or your body. I really highly recommend that you just get a little quiet inside, Rivka, however that looks for you. And you'll come back to center with a clarity and a wisdom and an ability to pull forth whatever it is that you're launching in the world.
Okay. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome. So just to let you all know, this topic has been so important for not just me, but for so many people, that myself and my mastermind partner, Dominic Scafidi, we're going to do a webinar next Thursday. on the same topic, but a bit deeper in a fresh way, come and join us. Be there with us if you'd like to. It'll be at 1 p.m. New York. And you'll get details of that on the Facebook group and in your inbox from me. Dominic and I are putting together a lovely workshop, Coming Alive with Joy, for the first weekend of November. So we'll talk a little bit more about the workshop, obviously, on the webinar. But if you can make it next Thursday, the 21st of October, we will be live for about 90 minutes and we'll go deeper and see a little bit fresher in this area. And in the meantime, I'll see you all next Tuesday. And thank you for your wonderful questions and participation. Feel free to post in the group if you have any insights, if there's anything you want to share from this coaching clinic. And sending you all lots of love. Bye, everybody. Ciao.
Bye.
Bye. Lots of love. See you next week.